Welcome to r/Choosingbeggars, where people are stuck up and get shut down. This happened a few days ago and I still haven't finished fuming over it. It's a pretty long story, so strap in. TLDR at the bottom. So, some background. Friends of my family had to move to a place where animals were not allowed. At the time, they had a very sweet 2-year-old lab named Cricket. They didn't want to bring it to a shelter where it wouldn't be a top priority, so they gave it to my family, knowing we often fostered animals and found them good homes. We were told to find a good home for Cricket and to ask for about $50, a home check, and a few references, just to make sure the people who ended up with her were a good fit. This is all very acceptable and we were happy to do it. Fast forward a week or two. The family has moved and we have begun the process of getting the word out that this dog was looking for a new home. We got several responses within a few days, mostly people asking if Cricket would fit well in their home. Kids, dogs, cats, livestock, etc. Here enters Choosingbeggar. This woman was one of the first responses to our ad and we looked over her application. She has a decent sized house with a fenced in backyard. 1 kid, no dogs, no cats, which Cricket was fine with, but it didn't matter in this situation, and seemed to be a pretty good fit for this dog. We messaged her and agreed on a time and date. When the day came for her to move over, something came up and my parents had to be elsewhere. Instead of canceling on her, my mother trusted me to handle the situation correctly, seeing as all I was doing was letting the lady meet Cricket to see if she liked her. The home check would be on the following day. I am a 15-year-old female for more context. I've done these meet and greets alone several times and have never had problems. That was soon to change. The time finally comes for the lady to come over. I put my own 2 dogs, 2-year-old pit bull, 4-month American bulldog, in the kitchen so they wouldn't interrupt us. Then took out Cricket. Choosingbeggar is a little odd, more into the dog than talking to me. That's fine, I get it. Cricket acts shy, hiding behind me for a few minutes just because this lady is new and she doesn't know her. Choosingbeggar starts to get frustrated and reaches over, grabbing Cricket by the collar and dragging her over to her. I said something polite like, "Oh, don't scare her." The response was a glare and a, "I know what I'm doing." I'm starting to get a bad vibe from her when all of a sudden my puppy comes tearing around the corner, running up to the lady and jumping on her. I apologize immediately and try to rein him in, but the lady picks him up and looks him over. "You didn't tell me you had another dog for sale." "Well, he's not." "Well, I came here to get a dog for my son, and I'm not going to leave without one. You said this dog was friendly and playful. She's obviously been abused by you. You owe me a free dog or I'm going to call the cops." She hasn't been abused. She's just, I'm taking this one. He's much sweeter and I don't want you to abuse him either." This lady literally tucks my puppy under her arm and shoves a crumpled 20 in my direction. "You're lucky I even gave you 20. She turns to walk out of my house with my dog in her hands, swinging around my poor 35-pound pup while she tries to manage the door with one hand. I'm literally frozen. What the frick am I supposed to do in this situation? After a few seconds, I stumbled down the stairs and pushed the door closed, saying something about how she needed to drop my dog. She starts banshee screaming, yelling about how I was gonna hurt my dog. This lady completely flipped. She seemed alright in the beginning and now she's acting like a freaking lunatic. Thankfully, I got my phone and called the police. While I was calling, she threw my frickin' dog and took off, pushing me aside to run out of the door. She got away, but I ended up telling my parents. Turns out the frickin' idiot gave my mother her address for the home check, so the police should get involved in a few days. Whoops! Ring, ring, ring. "Hello, miss. I'd like to come over to your house and steal a dog from you, and before I do, here's my home address." "Okay, cool. See you later." Click. My wife and I still laugh about this one. We treated ourselves, along with our daughter, to business class on a flight home as some upgraded seats suddenly opened up at a discount. We flew economy down and had been separated, so this seemed like a good thing. My wife and daughter grabbed their 2 seats. I hid right behind them to the last row of business seats. There's a woman already in my seat talking to the woman next to her. Me to the woman in the aisle seat. "Hi, I think you're in my seat." Choosingbeggar window lady quickly chimes in. "I got upgraded. This is my sister. Would you mind taking a different seat so we can be together?" "Okay, sure. Is it the single here?" Motioning to the empty seat across the aisle. "No, her seat is technically in coach." That's not going to work." "Please, this is a trip of a lifetime for us, and it would really be wonderful if we could sit next to each other." "I get it, but I'm not going to give up a seat I paid extra for." "We need to be together as she has been through so much being sick, and these are the only 2 seats that will allow us to really talk." "Weren't you just on vacation?" "I'm sure whoever is sitting next to her in coach will switch with you up here." Please just go back there. No, my wife and daughter are with me. I look over to see my kid laughing at me. It's just money. We need to sit together. Do the right thing and be a gentleman. We really need to sit together for her health. The flight attendant comes over. Choosingbeggar, I hope it's okay he switched seats with my sister here. No, I didn't. Flight attendant, ma'am, you will have to take the seats you purchased. The sister begrudgingly gets up but hovers a bit, even as people are boarding. She stands there giving me weird puppy dog eyes. Finally, she goes back to her seat in coach. Now that you made my sister move and ruined our trip, the least you can do is pass her some free drinks during the flight. No. I put on headphones. She sat with her arms folded, staring straight ahead for the next 6 hours. Can you imagine sitting next to someone for 6 freaking hours who hates your guts? Oh my god, that had to have been an awkward, cringy airplane ride. Okay, so for context on this next one, a Choosingbeggar found that someone posted her messages on the Choosingbeggar subreddit and got real angry. So the Choosingbeggar decided to harass the poster's followers. Stop harassing my followers. Like, you're being crazy, stop. You're a 26-year-old woman, grow up. You are the one harassing me. You go out of your way to stalk me and post everything I do on that stupid and trashy group in Reddit. What's wrong with you? They all make fun of me because you told them, okay, this awful person. Lol, I don't need to convince them. They've seen how nuts you are through what you post. So are you doing this because I refuse to sell you the painting? No, you dumb jerk. I would have left you alone if you hadn't posted all my conversations on Reddit. I don't give a flip about your stupid art. I've been doing a huge piece 10 times better than yours for free. Delete all the Reddit posts now. Also, who's the person that sent you the screenshots because I blocked you? Do you have a fake account stalking me? I am not taking them down. Grow the F up. I thought you'd stop this stupid, childish behavior if you saw how other people reacted, but you're so blind. If you don't stop, I will take legal action. Grow up. I'm pregnant, you know. Every emotion I go through, my baby will feel. I'm very stressed out, so if I have a miscarriage from all the emotional stress you made me go through, it's going to be your fault. Stop lying. You're not pregnant. Anyway, I have to go. Stop contacting my followers, you crazy bee. Baby killer! You really need some psychiatric intervention. I will talk to your mother about this. I've told her already, and she just had a heart attack, so don't you bring drama to her, you selfish bee. That's weird. My mom told me she was doing great. I hope you know they talk to each other very often. This is what happens when a Choosingbeggar discovers they're being made fun of on the internet. If I get big enough, it's inevitable that someone I've made fun of will find my YouTube videos, and the YouTube comments will be an absolute gold mine of Choosingbeggar Rage. Oh my god, I cannot wait for this day to happen. So a day like that is inevitable. If you want to see the chaos and the butthurt unfold, be sure to subscribe so you will be here when it happens. Buckle up, boys. So, a backstory. I'm a pretty hardcore PC gamer. When I turned 17, I got a job, saved my first pay packet for a few months, and spent £2,000 on a PC. Over the past 5 years, I kept upgrading it, spending about £4,000 on it in total over that time. 6 months ago, I was having massive issues, and it turned out my graphics card has fried. Sad face. I had been saving for a new PC and spent a lot more on that. So I had a spare cooked PC in my room. I swapped out parts and turned it into a mini server to run in my room all good. This Christmas, we had family at our place, including the young children. My cousin, who's 11, was looking in my room as it's quite techy, so naturally he's interested. Another point about this child is he and his brother are not technical. They don't have mobiles, iPads, game consoles, or even internet. They are very strange children, and they're kind of the weird family you're forced to invite to gatherings because they're family. Back to the story. He notices my mini server and says, "Wow, you have 2 computers?" I basically just agree to save the effort of explaining the difference to him. He tells me he wishes he has one and just stares at me like I'm the reason he hasn't got his own. I chuckle it off and we go back downstairs to the party. Later on, my aunt, his mom, comes up to me and asks about why I need 2 computers. I explain to her about one being my main PC and another being a server. She does the technophobe hands, which are the jazz hands people do when you explain something technological to them. She asks if Choosingbeggar cousin could have the PC so he can play Fortnite and Pokemon. 1, it's mine. No. 2, it's a server, not a standard PC. 3, they also have no internet or knowledge of how to set up a PC. I basically just flatly say, no, sorry. She storms off almost in a tantrum. Now, I consider us a normal type family. These things just don't happen. I told my dad, who doesn't like them, and he just laughs loudly. We're getting weird now. Choosingbeggar cousin literally sits in my room, sitting against my server under my desk for probably 5 hours. I ask him to come back down, and he just says, no, he's comfortable and just sits there. Oh, so he's like a cat. So it gets to about 10 p.m. and people are leaving. Choosingbeggar aunt and uncle get their things and get ready to go. They say Choosingbeggar cousin won't leave without the PC. They look at me like this is my fault and I'm wondering where the discipline is. Choosingbeggar aunt goes upstairs to get him while the rest of us kind of sit awkwardly silent in the hallway. They're gone about 5 minutes. I mean, it's not a big house. Grab that little twerp's hands and pull him downstairs. I go up to see what the issue is and Choosingbeggar cousin is literally mounting my server. He has his arms and legs wrapped around it, all cables pulled out and on the floor everywhere, halfway across the room where he obviously tried to drag it. Cables and clipped cables that have been yanked out, so all broken. Let me remind you, this child is almost 12. I was almost immediately being pinged by my Discord for players letting me know my game servers had gone down. For those who don't know about servers, pulling the plug is very bad, as they need to be shut down properly. I just shout loudly to get the F out. The madness peaks at this point as my cousin looks up at me and hisses. Yes, hisses! Like a cat! I'm right, he is a cat! Choosingbeggar aunt starts accusing me of greed to the highest degree and drags Choosingbeggar cousin from the room and downstairs, to where basically 15 people are waiting to see the result of the carnage. They tell me I'll be receiving a bill for the therapy Choosingbeggar cousin will likely need after a traumatic event I caused, which could have been easily avoided. As for the server, I needed to buy new cables. One of the storage drives had shattered when he let it fall over, moving it onto its side. After about a week, everything was back to normal. I've joined my dad and brother in non-contact with Psycho Family, but there's a little bit extra. Last week, I received a random Facebook message from a page called PC Donations asking me if I had any spare PCs to donate to children who weren't as fortunate in my local area, a small town. The page had been created about 2 hours prior and had 0 likes and activity, etc. Genius. I think this post gives us insight into why cats are such jerks. Cats are choosing beggars. Also, reading about this guy's Discord servers reminds me to mention my own Discord server. Join the rSlash Discord, the link is down in the description. So for context on this next story, they're talking about reptiles and snakes. A colubrid is a type of snake. Hey, you told me to text you regarding selling my colubrid collection? Hi, yes. How much do you want for full collection with all setups and enclosures? If you want all the enclosures too, it will be around £2,000. 3 or 4 of them are kept in rubs, the breeding pair of MBKs and the scaleless corns, but all the others are in 90 by 60 by 45 exoterras with full setups including light fittings and the matching cabinets. You would need a van to collect them. I could do 800 today, but have a van there in 2 hours. King snakes and corns aren't really popular at the minute, so I think 2,000 is way too much. Well, there's almost 3,000 in equipment all in perfect condition. That's without the snake collection. If you want, you can take the list of snakes into a reptile shop by you and ask them to price it up, or ask on the IHS Facebook page. The scaleless corns are worth over 1,000 alone. I am actually selling, and then the message gets cut off. Lol, I have kept snakes longer than you have been born. 800, take it or leave it. I don't have time for people trying to rob me. Well, in that case, I'm gonna leave it. Perhaps you have kept them for longer than I have been alive, which makes this even more ridiculous. Beat me and tell me to my face. F off, you absolute bellend. Lol, was in the army for 15 years. Act tough over text and see what me and my boys do to your house. I'll give you 20 quid and you and your boys can come and clean my gutters. Other than that, go and bore someone else. Alright, here's a free pro tip for you. Never pick a fight with a dude who has a reptile and snake collection. Because you'll show up getting ready to stomp a fool and he'll show up with a crocodile, or he'll just throw a snake in your face. Man, don't pick a fight with reptile collectors. That can't end well for you. Alright everyone, that is r/slash Choosingbeggars, and remember, it is inevitable that someone that I make fun of in these videos is going to find my channel eventually, and when that happens, you want to be here. Trust me, it's going to be an absolute blast in the comments. So hit that subscribe button and also the bell so you can be one of the first people to show up in the comment section, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video.